One of the key issues I want to address regarding this profession is a topic that has not been widely discussed. Various organizations seem to be considering a ban, with some suggesting a 2-year suspension. However, I believe the decision might ultimately be for just 1 year. Either way, it's a complicated situation. Recently, World Boxing Association (WBA) President Gilberto Mendoza revoked Gervonta Davis's boxing license following an incident in the 9th round of his fight against Lamont Roach earlier this month. This decision came after the organization faced significant criticism for alleged double standards. The officials involved, Judge Steve Willis and the technical review team, were accused of unfairly depriving Roach of what should have been his 26th career victory. The scorecards reflected a highly controversial result. Judge Eric Marlinski scored the bout 115-113 in favor of Davis, while judges Steve Weisfeld and Glenn Feldman both scored it 114-114, leading to a majority draw. The outcome sparked intense debate. Despite the ruling, some questioned whether Davis truly deserved the result. During the fight, there were moments when he struggled, but ultimately, the decision stood. However, controversies over how officiating decisions were made have led to growing concerns within the boxing community. Would Steve Willis be allowed to officiate another Davis fight? Many argue against it. The WBA had a chance to restore credibility by ensuring fairness, yet their actions disappointed fans and professionals alike. Davis, as the favored fighter, seemed to benefit from technical and human errors. Despite widespread appeals, the WBA refused to overturn the decision after their review. The backlash from the boxing world was swift. Fans and analysts voiced their unfiltered opinions, accusing the WBA of bias. Mendoza's choice to refrain from altering the result led to further scrutiny. However, as a consequence, Davis's license has now been suspended, preventing any immediate rematch for at least a year. The issue remains controversial, with no definitive studies comparing the safety risks between professional and amateur boxing. There is a need for clear medical guidelines to ensure the well-being of fighters. This is an area of concern, particularly in international competitions where professionals participate alongside amateurs. Initially, the WBA's stance was different after Davis faced unexpected resistance from Roach, resulting in a majority's draw. Fans were outraged over the events of the 9th round. At that moment, Davis suddenly dropped to a knee without taking a direct hit, and Willis ruled it as a non-knockdown, despite initiating a standing count. Subsequent investigations revealed that grease from Davis's hair had entered his eyes, affecting his vision. However, this significantly impacted the scoring, preventing Roach from securing a deserved win. In the aftermath, the New York State Athletic Commission stepped in, admitting that a technical malfunction had prevented officials from reviewing replays. This delay allowed the initial result to remain in place. After Roach's team formally requested a review, the commission began examining the incident in detail. Ideally, this should have resulted in the decision being overturned in favor of Roach. Interestingly, a now deleted article on the WBA's website attempted to justify Willis's ruling, arguing that his decision was neither unreasonable nor unjustifiable. The article stated that Willis had ruled in real time, determining that Davis had not been struck before kneeling. Many questioned this perspective. When asked about Davis taking a knee, some observers refused to comment directly, hinting at their skepticism. Official regulations state that judges must adhere to the referee's calls and cannot override knockdown rulings. Despite the WBA's attempts to dismiss accusations of favoritism, criticism persisted. Some believed that Willis's call unfairly benefited Davis, while others argued the ruling was consistent with protocol. Nonetheless, the controversy fueled widespread debate over the fairness of boxing's governing bodies. As the backlash grew, the WBA swiftly removed the article from its website. However, this only intensified discussions, as critics saw it as an attempt to cover up inconsistencies. In response, Mendoza issued a public statement distancing the organization from the article, asserting that it reflected only the writer's opinion, not the WBA's official stance. Meanwhile, Roach expressed his frustration through social media, making it clear that he believed he had been robbed of a victory. His posts sparked heated discussions among fans, further amplifying the controversy. Despite the controversy surrounding the 9th round, the fight's financial success cannot be ignored. The bout between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach Jr. generated approximately 260,000 pay-per-view buys, as reported by Dan Raphael. Another source confirmed the number to be closer to 262,000. With the event priced at $79.95 per purchase, the pay-per-view revenue totaled around $21 million. This sum includes earnings from Prime Video, PPV.com, and traditional cable pay-per-view providers. Additionally, the fight's live attendance was a historic moment for the Barclays Center, drawing a record-breaking 19,550 fans. The ticket sales for the event amounted to nearly 7 million, making it the second largest live gate in the venue's 13-year history, surpassed only by a Rolling Stones concert. Even with all this financial success, the boxing world remains fixated on the unresolved controversy. The WBA is now under scrutiny for its handling of the situation. Some members of the boxing community believe the organization should have taken stronger action in response to the questionable officiating and the impact it had on the final outcome, while the WBA attempted to mitigate the backlash by suspending Davis's license. Critics argue that the real issue lies in their refusal to overturn the draw in favor of Roach. The controversy has sparked debates among boxing analysts, former fighters, and fans, many of whom feel Roach was robbed of a rightful victory. Lamont Roach Jr. himself has been vocal about the outcome. In interviews and social media posts, he has repeatedly expressed frustration over the way things played out. On March 18th, Roach posted a tweet that quickly gained traction, amassing over 215,000 views and 425 comments in under 2 days. Why are some of y'all mad? A lot of people think I won the fight, and I'm confused, gang. What's going on? Did I do something to you guys? Roach wrote. His post appeared to be a direct challenge to Davis's fan base, fueling further discussion about the fight. This move was seen by many as an attempt to build interest in a potential rematch. Respected boxing trainer Teddy Atlas also weighed in on the fight, offering his support for Roach. Atlas analyzed the bout in detail and pointed out key moments that he believed should have influenced the judge's decision. He noted that Roach gained confidence as the fight progressed and even started pushing Davis backward in the later rounds. Roach had the nerve, confidence, and ability to go in there and not just survive, but to actually win in spots, Atlas said. He also addressed the 9th round incident, stating that Davis taking a knee should have been ruled a knockdown. If you take a knee after a punch, that's a knockdown, Atlas asserted. Adding to the drama, Terence Crawford, one of boxing's top pound-for-pound fighters, also chimed in. I didn't know that was a rule, Crawford joked, referencing the fact that Davis's knee wasn't ruled a knockdown. I guess I must have been asleep when they passed that one. Crawford's comment only added fuel to the fire, as more fighters, and commentators began questioning the legitimacy of the WBA's decision after his license was revoked. Had Davis won against Roach, the bout with Paul might have taken place this summer. Paul even responded to Davis's pass call-out by mocking him on social media, referring to him as Floyd's little son. Despite all of this, the primary focus remains on a potential rematch between Davis and Roach. The WBA has reportedly discussed the possibility of ordering a second fight, which would give both fighters a chance to settle the score. If a rematch is mandated, Davis and Roach would have 120 days to finalize the details. Early reports suggest that June 21st at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas or June 28th in either Atlanta or Miami are potential dates and locations for the fight. 4. Now, Roach continues to push for the result of the first fight to be overturned, but the WBA has shown no indication of reversing the decision. Davis, on the other hand, has been relatively quiet about the controversy, though he has expressed interest in facing Roach again. Given the backlash surrounding the initial fight, a rematch would likely draw significant interest from fans and media alike. As the situation unfolds, the boxing world waits to see how the WBA, Davis, and Roach will respond. Will the governing body address the concerns raised by fans and fighters? Will Davis seek redemption in a rematch? And most importantly, will Roach finally get the victory he believes he deserves? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain. No excuses, Roach said in a recent interview. I proved I belong at the top, and I'm not going anywhere. Meanwhile, the rematch talks have sparked interest from major promoters and networks. Showtime, DAZN, and Amazon Prime Video have reportedly expressed interest in broadcasting the potential second fight. The financial success of the first bout, along with the added controversy, has made the rematch a highly marketable event. Boxing insiders predict that a rematch could exceed the original fight's 260,000 pay-per-view buys, possibly pushing past 350,000. If the rematch happens, Roach's strategy will be a key focus. In their first fight, he grew stronger in the later rounds, and many believe that with a few adjustments, he could secure a clear victory. His trainer, Barry Hunter, has already hinted at a revised game plan, emphasizing an even more aggressive approach. "We know what worked, and we know where we can be better," Hunter stated. "Tank is dangerous, but we know how to neutralize him." At the same time, Davis's camp is likely analyzing what went wrong. Some have suggested that Davis underestimated Roach and didn't take training as seriously as he should have. Others believe that Roach's defensive tactics forced Davis into an uncomfortable position. If the rematch happens, Davis will need to make adjustments of his own to prove he remains one of boxing's top stars. Despite the ongoing debate, one thing is certain: the first fight left unfinished business. Whether or not the WBA officially mandates a rematch, the demand from fans, fighters, and analysts is undeniable. If Davis and Roach do step back into the ring together, it won't just be about winning, it will be about setting the record straight. 4. Now, the boxing world watches and waits. Will Davis accept the challenge? Will Roach get the justice he feels he was denied? And will the WBA take any further action to address the controversy? The answers will come in time, but one thing is clear: this rivalry is far from over.